Boom. Okay. So if you guys will click that Nearpod link or type in the code that you see on your screen, just to make sure, if you guys could give me a thumbs up if you see the Nearpod code on your screen. You guys are good to go. Perfect. Oh, a thumbs up on that. I will send the link one more time for those people who are joining in. And then they can always kind of see it up here. The code's always in the top left corner. So if your students ever don't have that code, it's up there in that left-hand corner. I can see that 6 of you guys already, you're in here, and this is just it's a useful tool. If you go in there and are trying to look, if it's green, that means the students are in and participating. If it's red, it means they went to another screen. So that way you can kind of monitor like who's on, who's participating. If they're red, it might be easy to send a quick chat. Hey, it shows you're not active in the Nearpod. You need some assistance, or maybe a quick side combo. Hey, I don't see you participating. So that can be very useful as well. So if you guys want to, on a positive note, anything positive you can think of that's happened this month, I'm sure if you dig real deep, you can find something positive that's been going on. I love that Miss Padilla said that booing someone was nice. It really was. Like, I remember coming in, there's like a boo on my desk. I was like, oh, like somebody thought of me and booed me. And I think that it kind of spread out, and that was really enjoyable. I really liked it. Very cool. Very cool. Another neat feature, just while we're waiting on these last people to pop in, you can click at the bottom and you can go to any of the slides from your lesson. So let's say like it's getting towards the end of class and you really want to give that exit ticket. If you're still at the beginning, you can always head to the end and click there so that you can get to that. Because I know sometimes class runs longer, sometimes you need to add in a tool, and that's where you can quick add on the fly. So those are just a couple of those Nearpod features. So we're going to go ahead and go to the next slide. Thank you guys for sharing something positive. I wanted to just start with a little bit of smiles. So I put a couple memes or memes, as Mr. Alexander likes to call them. So this one really just made me laugh. Like when your students don't know how to electronically submit student assignments, but they can figure out TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, or how to hack a Zoom. They can figure that part out, but submitting assignments, forget about it. That made me laugh. Tonight on Unsolved Mysteries, the search for missing classwork that's allegedly been completed and turned in. That also made me laugh out loud. Without further ado, I'm going to show this video, and I've embedded it into Nearpod. Miss Rogers spent part of her day creating this for us so she could share it out. I uploaded it with Nearpod's new tool where you can add activities and questions throughout the video. So you'll see some questions pop up, and the main purpose of those was to kind of show you guys that you can do this with any YouTube video, any video you create, so that you can kind of monitor for that student progress. So I'm going to go ahead and play it on this device only. If you've ever been in class and been doing Nearpod on all devices and played it on all devices, you can notice it gets really noisy. But if you play it on just your device for the kids to watch, it works pretty well. So if you guys will just look at my screen, I'm going to go ahead and start the video. Thank you again to Miss Rogers. YouAreTheBomb.com.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to share out a quick video to showcase an awesome EdTech tool called SeeSaw. It's at app.seesaw.me, and it's called SeeSaw, S-E-E-S-A-W. On SeeSaw.
All right, so this is a notice. You can pick the exact time in a video that you want to pause it. So I think this answers your question, Ms. Rogers. I paused it exactly there, and now I'm asking the class, where can you locate the SeeSaw app? And this is an obvious answer. You'd probably, use some higher level questions if you're working with your class. But it's just a quick way to gather that understanding. So you can put that in to any video. You can use any YouTube video, any video you already have that you use in your class. You can now upload that, drag it over to Nearpod as an interactive video activity, and you can pull the class as you go through. So this is kind of great to just gather some quick information as you go through. And maybe like if only one person got this question wrong, now I can know I really need to maybe offer them some assistance. So this is one of my new favorite tools they have on Nearpod. Once you have most of the class answering the question, you can go ahead and hit play and the video will resume.
Students are able to write, type, and do many other functions on anything that's uploaded. For example, I've uploaded this template of a graphic organizer, and students will be able to go in and type, write, and do a bunch of other things on it as if they were doing it in a classroom. So this is great to use with your virtual classes. So for example, this is what it would look like if a student were completing the assignment. They can come on here, they can type, they can change the color of their font. They can change the font. They can change it to have no box around their font, a solid background, etc. It's all right there. They can move it, make it smaller. Okay, they can also write. There's a pencil tool, a marker tool, highlighter, and eraser, so they can write on the document. It makes graphing really easy for them. There's also a shapes function. So if they needed to put a triangle, for example, on there, and they can make it whatever size they want. They can change the color of it. So it gives a wide variety of options of editing. And when they've completed it, they just click the green check mark to submit it. If they aren't finished and need to finish it later, they can save it as a draft. They're able to upload photos by either taking a photo or by uploading a document from their computer, or they can take a video. They can add pages, etc. So there's a lot of different options available to them there.
All right, so this is another feature that just pops up. This is that video question. So at this point, when I was watching the video that Ms. Rogers made, I was amazed. So I was like, wow, how awesome is this? Could you use this in your classroom? And what are some ways you could think of it in your class? So this was to kind of show you that you can also put in some open-ended questions into that video. If you're not amazed yet, there's even more coming, like this video that Ms. Rogers made that will be shared to you guys if you want to watch it again. Is really just amazing way to increase that engagement. I know a lot of teachers have been asking, like, I want them to be able to write in it because they don't have a printer, or the PDF is really hard to type into. Like, this is a way where they can really interact with that document and have all those neat tools in one place. It's more, and it's kind of more broad than just Nearpod Drawlet does similar things, but not on this level. This is much more in depth. All right, so we will go ahead and continue playing the video.
You're able to have different class periods. So in order to have a student join your class or their particular class period, then you will just give them a code to join. So for example, this is my period 2. I would click add students, and I just need to copy this code and give this code to anybody that's in period 2. When they register, they use this code to register, and they get added to the class. The awesome thing is that you're also able to invite families. So here you can add a family member by their phone number or their email. It will send them an invite to join SeeSaw, and the family member can keep an eye on the work that their student has done. and can see the activities that have been assigned to them. I recommend using their school email and their school funky password when they sign up. That way, if they can't ever remember what their login is, it should be very easy to figure out what it should be for them. For each student, you can go in and see their specific work that they've submitted. So it's very easy to see if they've turned a specific assignment in, but you're also able to go to activities and go to a particular activity. Let's see. Let me do one that they did from quarter one. You can go to a particular activity, and down at the bottom, it will show you everybody's responses. So I can click on Eliza's and pull it up, and it will pull up Eliza's response. So right there, you can see every single student that has completed it. Another neat thing is that when you are creating an assignment, you would do so under Assign Activity. You have all your previous activities you've created here, but you can create a new activity. You can type any instructions you want. But the neat thing is that there are different codes that you could put in for people that like visual instructions. So I can say check to mean green check mark. I can say photo for it to show the picture of the camera tool. I can say label to mean the typing tool, and I'll show you what they look like in just a second. You can add voice instructions, so you would click on this button and say your instructions verbally so that people that like verbal instructions can hear. You can provide examples of what their work should look like when they're done, or you can add a template. So you can upload files for your template, like if it's a worksheet, you can say that it's notes and it's just going to give them lines that they can write on. So your templates are all added here. Say I want to add a file from my computer, then I would go down to, let's see, say I want to add this worksheet here. So it's going to pull it up and it's going to add that worksheet right there. If I want to make it bigger, all I have to do is unlock it, and I can make it bigger so that they do about half the page on this first one. And then I can copy it and make another page and paste it there so I can give them the bottom half. When I'm done, I click the green check mark to add my template, and there's my assignment. So I'm going to click, oh, it needs a title. So dilations. I save my assignment, and notice that when I saved it, see how that what I wrote in between colons became icons. And there is an entire worksheet full of icons that you can use so that it explains to them easily what they should be clicking on. So when they go to do the assignment, it will have the instructions, verbal instructions if you put them on there, and they can click add response. All they have to do an assignment is click add response. And then it will be there for them to draw, write, type, upload pictures to, whatever you want them to do. They click the green check mark and it submits their response. It's as simple as that.
So thank you so much, Ms. Rogers. I really can see how this can be very useful in classes throughout our campus. And I'm just really grateful that you shared this out with us. I'm sure some of you guys are excited to use it. And if you need any help using it, feel free to reach out. We're going to go ahead and move to the next slide. I'm going to show you guys a couple more cool tricks. This recording, as long as some more how-to videos will be sent out. If you want to digest those, feel free. All right, so the next slide is our Padlet that we started during our first collaboration session. And if you guys want to, you guys can go in and add anything. I put up SeeSaw up here at the top. There was also this other document I wanted to share out, and it's located in our Padlet. So you guys will have this from now until the Padlet disappears. Independent workroom times. So this was an idea, and it was actually shared in a training through the district. And it was kind of one way to kind of do breakout rooms and provide students with some choice. So students could have 4 breakout rooms, and then what they would do is they could label themselves. They're a 1, they want to be a 2, they want to be a 3, they want to be a 4. If you needed to bring some kids into a specific room, you could say, hey, today I'm going to bring you into the room 4 so I can support you. So it's giving kids that choice. Some kids like to collaborate and can talk together out loud and get work done. So they would go to the open workroom. They want to collaborate with others, talking. Their mic is going to and camera are going to be on, and they're going to discuss. Some students might want to work in a quiet room. They want to use the chat box to kind of discuss some questions if they get stuck, but they want it to be a quiet environment for them to finish that assignment. Some of them want to work quietly and independently on their own, and then they could reach out to the teacher if they need help. And then you could also have a room where they want to stay with the teacher and get some support as they work through that assignment. So that is just one thing that I thought was really neat, an idea if you would want to try it in your classroom for those kids who are working on independent work times. So this is available to download right on our school's Padlet. You can simply click on it and it will take you straight to that document. So remember, guys, I'll send this out with our follow-up email for the collaboration session, that all of our tips and tricks are located in here for you guys to get to. Anybody want to share any cool tips that aren't listed yet that you've been using online, virtually in your classroom that have just been really helpful? I'll bring you a candy bar. Still no takers. That's about all I could offer. I'd offer a cruise, but the way my bank account is set up. Yeah, that too, Miss Pickett, that too. Yes, Microsoft Whiteboard. Who wrote that? Miss Pickett wrote that. That is so funny because that is what's on our next slide. So since you guys can access this later, I think she can read my mind. Miss Pickett's reading my mind. When I go to the next slide, oh no, but it is a couple slides ahead. When you go to the next slide, I wanted to share real quick before I get to the whiteboard. On our wonderful SharePoint, there is this new tab, RBSMS Tech Tools. It's important to note that they're not actually like a list I created or anything. It's professionally taken from a planning and then put in here. But what it takes you to, if you click that link, I think most of you got my email, it takes you to this. And this was created by the University of Florida Literacy teaching team. This has tutorial videos, how-to videos. It has engagement tools, and it's all on one spot. So we have our Padlet, but this is like next level. If you needed to know how to create breakout rooms in Zoom, there's a tutorial video. It has links for so many things. Like, I was blown away when they shared this in the training. That's when I shared it to you guys in that email, because I wanted you guys to have access to this like right away. So it shows you how to create slideshows, how to create Google Slides. Some people still aren't sure how to do that, and that's okay. There's a video for you. It also has different free engagement tools. You'll see that there's SeeSaw right here. It's a free engagement tool. That's what Miss Rogers shared out this morning. This is another tutorial video on how to do that if you needed another one. Flipgrid, Kahoot, Name Wheel, Name Picker tools. There are just tons of resources on here with tutorial videos for you guys to have right at your fingertips. So this is now located on our SharePoint. There's some Jamboard on here and a whiteboard that we're going to talk about very shortly. But I just wanted to give you guys a second to kind of look at that, because it can be very useful. Anybody see it? Anything on here familiar that you've used before in your classroom?
Screencast-O-Matic to make videos.
Very cool. Thank you for sharing, Ms. Pickett. Also, if any of you feel like, you know, tapping into those creative juices, I'm not sure. It's a rabbit hole. If Miss Stephanie's on here, she knows. Bitmoji Classroom, there's how to do that. Unless you want to like pour your life and soul into like one slide, I wouldn't necessarily recommend, but it is really fun. Miss Jury and I went down that rabbit hole together. It's very fun, but it's definitely time consuming. But if you wanted to know how to do it, video right here, all in one place. Immersive Reader, there's another tutorial on Immersive Reader. So this is just a one-stop shop, and I wanted you guys to just be aware that it exists so that you could go in and explore it whenever you so feel like it. I already showed you guys that one in Padlet. So next, I'm going to show you guys Microsoft Whiteboard, and everybody has Microsoft Whiteboard located in your Office tools, like just like you have your OneNote and your PowerPoint and your Excel and your Word, everybody has Whiteboard. So when you create a whiteboard in Microsoft, it's a place where you can allow everybody to kind of collaborate in one space in your classroom. So you could maybe add an image up here. You could add sticky notes. And this was like a couple people, we were working on it during a training. So like one person can type over here or write over here. And then you can just add layers to it. And you simply would do that by sharing. So if I copy this link and any brave souls want to join me in this board, I'm going to send it. I can send it right in the chat if I was on Zoom. Oh, there's my chat. And once I share that link, anybody can click on it and now they're on my whiteboard. Zoom in. Apparently I zoomed way out. And this is Microsoft Whiteboard. Somebody typed in profanity. Yeah, that will possibly happen. So you got to make sure you're monitoring. If they log in through their Microsoft Whiteboard, the thing I do like about this is that if they're logged into MyPassCo Connect and they log in, you should be able to see who is typing so that you can monitor that aspect of it, because we know that some people just really are talented at drawing rocket ships and they want to share with the world. So definitely something you'd have to monitor. Maybe not use this right away with like, you know, one of those classes that's really challenging unless you're going to be able to monitor who's typing or writing what. But I'm sure all of us have some class that they feel would really take this and be able to work with it and add to it. So I know you guys have kids coming in the classroom soon, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I know there was a lot today, but I recorded it so you guys can go back and watch it if you choose, and I'll summarize with some of those links to those top tools we learned about today. I once again really want to thank India Rogers for taking the time to share SeeSaw with us. I think that's going to be very useful to a lot of teachers. So thank you guys so much. If you need anything, let me know, and I'm so happy to be part of this Bulldog family.
Thank you, Tori, for putting this together for us and everybody's participation. Great session this morning. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.